And one of our options to finish this, we're going to do some upper body, some shoulder work. We've done this before. This is the series of arm circles that I learned from Tom House. You can Google his name. He's one of the world's top authorities in shoulder stability. A couple key things is, as I work this, I want to keep a composed, relaxed, and athletic body. In other words, I don't want to crunch the shoulders up. I don't want them down. I want to be very relaxed. I don't want to be looking up with the head, looking down. I try to keep the face relaxed as well, rather than straining. If I turn it aside, another key point is with all these circles, you'll see I'm going to keep the circles in front of my body. I'll bring them back towards shoulder or body level, but I'm not going to ever take them back and break the plane of the body to the rear. All right, when I learned it, that was an emphasis that we had to do. 3 positions we're going to work. Palms down, thumbs up, and thumbs down. All right, and we'll work small circles, we'll work medium-sized circles, we'll work big circles. And we'll work them forward, whether they're big, whether they're medium, or whether they're small from there. Key things that you can work on. If it starts getting too tough, bend the arms. I say keep going, find a way to keep going rather than just stopping. All right, never admit that defeat. Always keep fighting for it. So you can lower the arms. All right, even if you do the circles here with straight, if you bend the arms up here, it's going to relieve some of the pressure no matter which version you're doing. So pick your own favorite music. We're going to do this according to time and follow along. Pick your own favorite music, stay with it. Remember, if you need to, lower the arms down and go from there. So first one are palms down. We're doing small, controlled circles. Remember, keep the face and head relaxed as best you can. And however small you want to go. All right? Nice and smooth, controlled. Even without weights, you're not going to need them. This will work you. So we go medium-sized circles. And again, notice the pace. I'm not whipping through these. I want a slow, controlled pace. I want to be in control of this motion rather than letting the arms control me. And now I go big circles as I take them around. Again, these are palms down that we're working right now. Keeping the body athletic but relaxed. Now we go big circles, but we're going backwards this time. Same palm position, palms down. If you need to, remember, to lower that, you can still do circles, do them a little bit lower. We go medium-sized circles. The goal for our advanced students, we do this at the academy, is we want to keep them arms up the entire time. And I always say keep that face relaxed. Even if you're feeling it, that look on your face should never let people know that you're feeling it. And now we go small circles. Palms are down. Remember, continue to breathe. If you need to, put a smile on the face. Keep it nice and going. Now we go thumbs up. We're going to do small circles forward. And again, if you want to go quicker, you can. I like about a medium to slow pace with all this. You should start feeling it by this point. Now we go medium-sized circles. Remember, if you need to, bend the arms a little bit more. That will immediately reduce the pressure, and you may only have to do that for a couple circles and then rejoin. Big circles. Again, thumbs are up. The reason we're varying that hand position, thumbs up, thumbs down, palms down, is to hit different areas of the rotator cuff. Now backwards. Now I was learning this from Mr. House because he works with so many major league pitchers. He would talk about fastball, curveball, and screwball palm positions to prepare the pitchers to go through their motions. So these are big circles. Now we go medium-sized circles. The thumbs are pointed up. Remember the ways you can reduce the pressure. Bend the arms or lower them down a little bit. Again, all these are staying in front of the body. And small circles. And again, if I turn to the side, you'll see I'm keeping those circles in front of my body as opposed to trying to get back here. Keep them in front of the body. Now, thumbs down, small circles. Now, if you have any type of impingement problems, I definitely recommend doing these down a little bit lower. When that thumb is in a down position, you can get an impingement, so be very careful. If you have any shoulder issues, feel free to modify. Medium size, thumbs are pointed down. You're almost there, just hang with it. I was always told everybody feels it at this point. It's who's going to just ride that feeling, ride that wave all the way into the beach. Big circles. You're so close, just stick with it at this point. Take them backwards, thumbs down, big circles. Remember our modifications, bending the arms or lowering them, maybe just for a rep or two, and then you can rejoin. Medium size, you're almost there. Stay with it. And we got one more set after this. And we're saving the best for last. Small circles, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Every rep is one less you got to do. We're going to work through that final buzzer. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Great job. All right, so the core, one of the best exercises, we talk about the core being stable, would be the plank position. And I think everyone's kind of familiar with the planks for now. Couple key things. When you set up for the plank, body alignment is critical. You want the elbows directly under the shoulder. Whether the arm's like this, it's down, or you have an angle, is up to you. The legs are straight, and I hold that position. I don't want the head down. I want a nice straight line with my body. Now, that being said, rather than being with the hips too low, it's better to have the hips up a little too high. Even though that's not perfect plank position, you'd rather the body be like that rather than down there. When you're in that plank, the way to really activate the core, think of squeezing your leg muscles tight, squeezing your glutes tight. That will usually automatically tighten and engage that core. So when I'm here, that whole body is active, what they call irradiation. I'm really pushing, I'm driving aggressively into that mat. The high plank is the top of our push-up position. Here, again, I want the palms directly under the shoulders, and that would be my top position. Be aware of the head. We don't want the head down, we want it here. Again, I'd rather you be up a little bit rather than down here. One of the keys is when you put that arm down, even for push-ups, you want to make sure you engage this arm properly. If I'm in the high plank, I want that arm straight. If you also notice what I'm kind of doing with my elbow here, I'm screwing that hand, turning that thumb and corkscrewing it in to actively engage that arm. I don't want the elbow out to the side as I do that plank on either arm. I want to engage those, turn those thumbs in, boom, engage those properly. That'll help protect the shoulder joint. So when I'm here, I'm aggressive with the palms, and that would be my push-up position. Again, rather than looking down between your hands, look out from your hands a little bit. Same thing, I have the glutes squeezed tight, my leg muscles are squeezed tight, these arms are fully engaged. When in doubt, I'm going to push the hips up a little bit higher rather than letting them go a little bit lower. So stay tuned for our plank workout. All right, we're going to work from that low plank position, put on some inspirational music, something that'll keep that heart going. We want to make sure we do this nice and tight. So remember, use some of the 5 points, get into that prone plank and hold it tight. Now, if that's too intense, gently drop the knees down, but keep the glutes squeezed tight and the stomach in. If you got it, we're going to hold that plank right there. This is first set. Keep it nice and tight. Continue to breathe normal. Now this one, we drop the knees, up and squeeze. Drop the knees, up and squeeze. Notice as I'm doing that, my upper back stays fairly still. Again, it's like I'm holding that hot bowl of soup right between my shoulder blades, and I don't want to drop down and back up. Now we're going to drop one knee down, up and squeeze, other knee, up and squeeze. That leg that stays up stays engaged, it stays tight, it stays squeezed. Down, up, and down, up. Now we're going to alternate. Right knee, left knee. As you bring that leg back up, squeeze it tight. Fully engage that. And again, think squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now we go both knees down, up and squeeze. We repeat that. Down, up and squeeze. Down, up and squeeze. We're going to say ease and then squeeze. Easy down, up and squeeze. Almost there. Boom. Final round, come up and hold that plank nice and tight. Really aggressively push those arms down. Again, engage it. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the legs, nice and tight. Almost there. Now we drop down. We immediately go into our lying opposites. Thumbs are pointed up, arms and legs as straight as you can make them. Finishing with the posterior chain work right here. We're going 2 rounds on that to balance out a lot of that work we did for the front of the core. Make sure you even it out. If you started with the right arm, make sure you finish with the left arm. Great work. All right, we'll see you for our cool down and flexibility. So our stretching today is going to be static stretching. This is where we get into a posture and we're going to hold it anywhere from 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds. Couple key things I'm going to demonstrate with what we call a straddle position is make sure you always focus on your form. I want to be engaged with what I'm doing here. I don't want to let the feet flop one way to another or bend the leg. One thing is to always form. I want to keep the head and eyes up. With all these, I'm not thinking so much of trying to get my head down to my knee as take my chest out to my toes. So I'm hinging more at the hips. Another key point is no matter what stretch we're doing, work it at your level. Just to the point where you feel slight tension in that muscle. If you're straining and gritting your teeth, you're stretching too hard. Back it off. Remember, the concept with static stretching is just to take that muscle a little bit further than where it's used to going. All right, it's warmed up. You should have an increased range of motion. So we're going to take advantage of that with our static stretching when we cool down. And that's the only time we prefer to do static stretching. We get in that position. We want to maintain posture and maintain our breathing. Much like our Tai Chi breathing, breathe in slow through the nose, filling that stomach with air, and exhale through the mouth. If we're into a 30-second round and partway through, you feel like you can go deeper, we always want to do that on an exhale. If you feel that muscle starting to tighten up, that's the stretch reflex, attempting to protect it, you want to back off. So again, good form, work within your limits, continue to breathe, relax, feel free to modify. We're going to stretch with the timer. That way we know we're doing 30 seconds. So pick some music that you like where you can relax. We want to use a low-key music here to kind of get us into that mood. So we're going to start with that straddle position. Remember from here, we want to have the legs straight, toes are pointed straight up. So this first round, we're just getting into that posture. And remember, I don't want to be sinking back here. I'm going to turn sideways real quick so you can see. I don't want to be like this. I want to have the body forward. If you can back up against the wall. That gives you great support to maintain good posture. So first position here, we're just going to hold that stretch. You want to use your hands here or have them lightly touching in front. A lot of people feel beneficial to close their eyes as they stretch. Leave that up to you. So big inhale. As we exhale, we're going to reach over to one side. With our fine points, just enough to feel tension in the back of the leg. You're also going to feel some on that inner thigh. My head and eyes are up. I'm looking out past those toes as if I'm taking my chin toward my toes. From there, we just focus on the breathing. Remember, whatever level you can. If this is it, you can grab your pant leg, your sweat pant, whatever to help hold yourself there, but only to that point. Come back. As we exhale, we take it to the other side. Now, it's normal for the body to be tighter on one side as opposed to the other. That usually tells you you're using that tight side a little bit more and relying on it more. So you can always come back to that tight side, do an additional stretch later. Just relax and breathe. Slow in, slow out. Come back to the center. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to take those arms out. Optional to pull your hands over here, kind of pull down with the ankles or come to the toes. That's up to you. Again, focus on the breathing, nice and slow. Relax that body. Keep them head and eyes up. Remember, we don't want the head down. We want to stretch out. Slowly walk the hands back to safely come on us. We're going to put the arms behind and pull ourselves back. All right, so now we have the feet about shoulder width apart. All right, I'm going to warm up here. I'm going to turn to the side a little bit so you can see this. We call the pike position. All right, again, I want the toes pulled back so I get a little stretch here on the calf. First, I'm just going to relax. Once again, you could back up to a wall to facilitate that position. Big inhale. As I exhale, I reach out. Once again, go to your level. Slow inhale, slow exhale. Again, wherever you can go is fine. Slightest bit of tension, and hold it there. Two things I usually look at: a student's breathing. If it starts to become harried or hurried or ragged, they need to back off that stretch. Take it out a little bit further. We're going to hold this for one more round. Remember, if you feel getting too tight, back off. As you exhale, join back in. Just relax it there. And back. To transition to my quad stretch, I'm going to turn sideways here a little bit. I'm doing this. I'm going to bring one leg in and take the other leg back. So I go to this Z position. This leg to the rear, I'm going to work on that quad. So a couple fine points here. I want to make sure I roll that hip up toward that opposite knee. And then I'm going to lay back according to where that leg is aimed, something like that. When you get to that position, you can move the body slightly left and right to feel that stretch sort of fan across that muscle tissue. And I go here. This one is definitely a stretch, a little learning curve to get the feel where you need it. If you need to turn more, push that hip up more, and then lean back. Same rule applies. Just go to where you feel a slight bit of tension. Many times I like to move this stretch a little bit to feel that across that tissue. Again, stretching out the front of that thigh. We come out slow. Go in slow, out slow. I bring that leg I just stretched. Again, I'm going to turn here a little bit. I'm going to bring it in front of that knee. Couple key things. I'm not worried about getting this flat. This isn't your typical pretzel yoga stretch. All right, from here, I'm going to hug that knee up toward my shoulder, and then I'm going to lean it forward. If I turn sideways, where you're going to feel this is in that glute outside, a little bit on the IT band, into that glute, right from there. So from here, I'm going to lean forward again, taking my chin out toward that toe, and relax and breathe. Once again, feel free. Some people like to move that forward and back a little bit. Some people like to add head turns into it. That stretches out the fascia, and it'll challenge that stretch in different ways. But stretching is meant to be personalized, so feel free to do so. If you feel getting too tight, back off a little bit. Again, slow in, slow out. So again, I'm going to come with my feet straight ahead. I'm going to go the opposite side, get into that, some call it a Z position, all right, because the body goes 1, 2, and up like a letter Z. Remember, this leg to the back, I'm going to be working on that quad. I'm going to roll that hip up from there, and then I'm going to lean back slightly. Once you're in that position, we again can move the body a little bit left and right. So position, up, and lean it back. Modifications of moving the body slightly to feel that stretch fan across that tissue. Or just find where you feel the tightest and hold it right there and relax. And slowly come out. You're going to turn a little bit. You're going to bring that leg back on edge in front of that other knee. Hug that knee up. And then again, I'm leaning forward. Where you want to feel this stretch, again, is outside that thigh. Down here by the hip, the glute minimus, the glute medius. All right where that hip is. It's a stretch a lot of people can't figure out in other situations. or position. So this position kind of sets you up to really feel it there. So hug that knee up toward the shoulder, and I lean it forward. Again, feel free. Remember, we talked about a little bit movement left and right with the body. The head turns. You want to do neck circles. You can do those as well. Remember, always gentle with the static stretching. We go in slow, we come out slow. When we go in, we always want to exhale. So we're going a little bit deeper with that. And slowly come out. We're going to go back to one of our active isolated stretches. Always like to make sure that lower back is doing fine. So bring the knees up. As you exhale, slight assist, release, and repeat. Working at your own pace here. Now you can continue with those double knee hugs or hold the knees in. And we go to our little rocking chair. Little massage for the back. Important, as we rock back, we want to tuck the chin toward the chest. We don't want to come back and have our head hit the floor or the mat. So we're always protecting the back of our head. Just nice and smooth. Back and forth. One more time. To get up, we always turn to one side. Use both hands to support yourself. Bring the knees under. Again, we come to tall kneeling position. Take those shoulders around. Other way. And gently stand it up. We'll finish with our Tai Chi breathing. One of the things we want to work on is we're going to inhale in through the nose, and we want to inhale deep down into that stomach, what they call belly breathing or baby breathing. So we want to think about stomach expanding with air. And then we do an exhale through the mouth where I think of actively pulling that belly button back to the spine. As we do that, we're going to coordinate that with some arm motions. Palms up, we inhale. Palms get to shoulder level. We turn them down. And slow exhale down. And again, long, slow inhale, breathing in through the nose. Stomach expands with air. And exhale down. And again, anytime you feel stress, it's a great exercise to kind of center the body. You can also do it with the eyes closed to really focus on the breathing. Remember, Tai Chi is a form of moving meditation as well as a form of self-defense. Inhale up. Slow exhale down. Each time we try to slow that breathing a little bit more. Fill that stomach. Pull that belly button back toward the spine. One more time. Long, slow inhale. Slow exhale down. We face it forward. Namaste.